when we're getting to know someone, we are listening to what the person is saying. And if we're not careful, we can be misled by words that the actions don't line up. And often when we complain later that, someone's representative was there, we didn't pay attention to the fact that what they said they were going to do, it didn't match what they were going to do, but we kept going anyway.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Romance and Real Estate, where we
help you level up in life, love,
and money.
Let's go. So by now, if you didn't know, tap into ALF experts if you're trying to get into home care, residential assisted living, and real estate. You know what I mean? We got a 3-in-1 situation where we can help you actually get into the field where it's a done-for-you service. Yes, done for you. It almost probably sounds too good to be real, but I can show you better than I can tell you if you go to alfexperts.com.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? So how y'all doing, ladies?
Doing well. But with that offer that you're discussing, when they're picking like the property, have you ever seen someone, I know from background when I would be in real estate, people would like go look at homes and then fall in love immediately and be like, I gotta have this one before even getting the specs and looking at the comps and all of that. Have you seen that in the past? Has that ever been a challenge?
100%. I think that
he's like, yeah.
Yeah. You know, people get impressed by the aesthetics. Things that, that are cute, staging.
Yes. And that furniture is not going to be here once you close.
Yeah. And so like the truth is, anytime you purchase a home, you should always do an inspection. Unless you're going to gut the home completely and rebuild it.
Right.
But if you're just going to take the home as is, I recommend that you have an inspection, because the inspector is going to be able to navigate the home throughout the crawl space, the attic, and, see things that they're trained to see to basically evaluate that there are no major repairs in the home prior to you committing a large amount of money into this investment.
Right.
So no, that's a tip to take. But to answer your question, it happens every day.
Every day? Yeah. People fall in love with the aesthetics?
Yes.
Wow.
It's easy. It's easy because, people cover up a lot of things. For example, there's a home up the street I was looking at. It was for sale last summer. Wanted it, didn't get it. Tough situation. We don't have to go into it. But I seen it for sale again.
Really?
And the pictures look a little bit different. So I was like, let me go check it out. Went to check it out. As soon as I stepped in, I'm like, come on, bro. You put new floorings and paint on here, but you didn't change out the subflooring that's damaged throughout 4,400 square feet.
That's a lot of rework.
So if you look at the math on that, the plank that he put, the flooring that he put to cover it is $2 per square feet. So that's $8,800 just in flooring. The labor is $2 per square foot. So that's $88 in the labor. And so like we're talking about $16,000+ in just
the floor.
Yeah. And they and to the eye,
it looks great.
It looks like an opportunity online. But when I went to inspect the property myself, I could tell that they covered up the floors. In essence, they put some makeup on it.
How could you tell that?
When I stepped in, I could see that it just wasn't level.
And you could see that because you have experience with level floors.
100%. So I wouldn't suggest for the normal person to go into a home and not get an inspection. I still get an inspection even though I'm experienced. But there are things that I can do to have enough confidence to still put in a bid. But that comes with time and reps.
And your inspection, who is it done by? You do that yourself?
Inspector.
Of course not.
Inspector. Inspection company.
A reputable one?
100%. I got a relationship with one, so we kind of like, I just kind of rinse and repeat and use them.
And you have rapport with this person.
Yes, there it is. That's the word.
Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Somebody
Yeah.
that's reputable, that you have rapport with, that you built relationship with, who you value and you can trust.
No doubt, without doubt.
So you don't allow yourself to have an attachment with the property until you've already gone through those steps. You don't get excited until you know that it's a quality property.
To be honest with you, I have no attachment to no properties.
Okay.
There's some that I favor just because, like, that in my portfolio.
Right.
But when it comes to purchasing the property. No.
Right.
There are opportunities that are better than others. Therefore, you tend to try to manipulate the deal to make it work. But you manipulate the deal by negotiating. You know what I mean? So, hey, you know, the property was for $650, May 2022. Today, it's $750. All right. So let's look at what you did. You demoed the interior kitchen and everything, you know, not the whole building, but just 25% of it was demoed. You put new floorings, drywall, and paint. So you're all in about $30,000. I understand as an investor what you attempted to do, but I can give you credit for the things that you did properly, but I can't give you credit for these floors. And so these floors are significant costs. So unfortunately, I can't give you $750. I could give you like $700 because it's damaged under here. And if we walk together, we could both feel the truth underneath these floors.
All right.
And so, you know, that's kind of like, when I say manipulate, that might be the wrong word. It was more so negotiate the deal. Therefore, it's fair to both of us.
Yes. My goodness.
So wouldn't you say in relationships, you get what you negotiate?
I would agree wholeheartedly. Especially if you ensure that you did some inspection before you even went to the negotiation table.
So what kind of deal do you think that one would get in relationships if there are no negotiations?
I think you're going to get all the bad floors available.
So real quick though, when you're dealing with somebody, like how do you approach a negotiation? Like in a dating situation, let's start from the beginning, then we could work it up if we need to. But in the beginning, like, I feel like so many people come with aspirations. Everybody come with their representative, date one or two, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know, everybody tells you about their goals, aspirations. You don't have enough, you ain't put enough eyes in it to see kind of like daily routines towards those goals. So how do you navigate through that and establish that in the beginning, dating?
Yes. So in the beginning, as you mentioned, not falling in love with staging. So reminding yourself that everyone's on their best behavior in the beginning. So don't fall in love with the representative.
Everybody.
Via Erica, we're going to go swimming on our second date.
Right. I mean, again, and why is that a problem, right? There's no problem
I'm
here.
just saying, let's kick back and sit lemonade in the shade and then dip in the pool.
And dip in the pool. Like you come, I come, we both come together in the pool. Like, yes. So that makes sense so that we can present our truth. And pay attention when people start to feel uncomfortable when you're having discussions or they're put in situations where they're not able to hide their truth. And don't tell yourself that it's something else. Be mindful. And you mentioned an inspection by someone that was reputable with whom you had rapport.
Yes.
When you're getting to know someone else, especially if the staging looks great, you may realize that your emotions are running high because people aren't always as strategic in relationship as they are in business, right? So it is very helpful to have an inspector, quite frankly. And you've seen where ladies will go to the club together, go out to brunch together, have someone with them. To have someone who could say, I took a look at this and did you notice this? Did you notice that? Did you notice this? Not that they're going to make the decision for you, just like the inspector doesn't help you decide whether or not you're going to buy. They just give you a report.
I hope you ain't talking about the player hating friend.
No. We don't talk about friend. No. I said someone whom you respect and have rapport, but it's someone who has achieved what you desire to achieve.
I want to make that clear though, because per what you were saying, someone could articulate it as I'm bringing my homie just to see what she think.
If they only listen to a part of the conversation, that's true.
Boom. Okay.
Right. But we don't recommend it be a family member. It may not be able to be a friend if your friend hasn't already accomplished what you seek to accomplish. Right. So if your friend is single and unhappy and feeling like she keep getting all the wrong men, that's not the person that's going to be able to give you a proper inspection report.
And explain what proper means.
Yes.
In that.
First, the person has to know you well, right? So we've mentioned before, like your attraction factors, your mission statement, your core beliefs, your values, things of that nature. Your inspector has to understand your objectives. And then your inspector has to be able to assess the other person, understanding you and seeing what their habits are and what their traits that they're giving off, and being able to objectively listen to what this person is saying, right? And watch their actions. Because when we're getting to know someone, we are listening to what the person is saying. And if we're not careful, we can be misled by words that the actions don't line up. And often when we complain later that, you know, someone's representative was there, we didn't pay attention to the fact that what they said they were going to do, it didn't match what they were going to do, but we kept going anyway. And so we fall in love with the staging, with the look of the person, with the story that they're telling. You mentioned aspirations. I would recommend, like, if you want to say dating 101 or something, we don't even really need to talk about aspirations on the first date. We can really spend our time talking about the journey to get to where we are now and how we feel about where we are right now. Yeah. Because the truth is, if we continue, I'm continuing with you based upon where you are now.
That's fair. And I think that's a great tip. Because I think that so many, I think it's a question to be like, so what are your goals for in your future? And so that's why I presented it like that.
Understood. So the risk is that then when said person shares their goals and you like those goals, they feel great. You're excited about those goals. Then you can slip and slide into the poison of potential. Yes. Meaning now you're falling in love with the potential that you see in this person, but that's their goal. No one said they're going to reach it. Right. We hope and pray that they do. However, please do not allow potential resentment to come later if by chance they don't achieve those goals and that's the only reason you stuck around.
Now, in addition to that, when you're having a conversation with a male or female and they start to share with you the things that they are actively doing right now to reach a goal that they have, it's like, oh, I see that you are actively taking steps forward to achieve something that you've already set in your head. Good to know. Not for future, but I see the actions that you're putting in now to reach the things that you've already said that that's what I want. That and that also gives you clarity. Like when somebody sets their mind to it, like you said, one of the other episodes, oh, when I set my mind to it, it's done. It's done.
It's done. It's done. That you will begin to see that, because otherwise you'll notice that people have lofty goals, but then when you ask them about, hey, what's the game plan? What are you doing right now? How did you get to where you are from where you were? Oh, well, you know, usually life be lifing, you know what I'm saying? Just a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Okay. So it sounds like we lack vision.
Yes.
Right? So when you're clear about your own vision, you require the other person to have some vision as well, right? So when you think about it, the more clear you are about your own business, say, for example, this show, you're very clear about your brand and the look and feel of your brand. I'm sure you wouldn't have partnered up with us to do something if we was just looking like trash and we presented as trash and we didn't mind our perception, anything like that, because that's going to taint what you have worked so hard for. And that's the same way in relationship. If you've worked so hard to build something up, you want to make sure that who you're bringing in, that's going to be your potential partner, they're going to be able to meet you where you are and you can grow together, not just take away.
Yeah.
Yes. No, that's 100% true. So, you know, I like using percentages.
Yes.
I just because, like, you know, not everything is always like you know, it's just to give you a ballpark, right?
Yeah.
Would you? I feel that like a large percentage, 80% and above, I've been guilty. I fall for potential. You know, and like, I just feel like we have this, like, I don't know, like, I'm not going to say trend, but, you know, we just built this character of, we're going to get dressed and pretty for this day. We're excited. You know, I think that you've definitely cleared up, stay present. Let's not talk about the goals, but we talk about the goals. I think,
we have sex.
I was not gonna say sex, but yes, I think that we're impatient with that. That's the you know, and so once you're in that, and somebody meets you guys, like,
I'm sorry, clarify. When you say in that, talking about the relationship,
like somebody's in that relationship, situationship,
gotcha,
because they're not even a thing yet.
So it's your man, but he's not your man.
Right, because you said they had sex.
So y'all are dating, but y'all are not in a committed relationship.
Correct.
Gotcha. Right. Okay, continue.
So before we even continue, right, let's just look at that. You look your best
Yeah.
Right? You said you get dressed up. You shared your best because your goals are like your highest aspiration for yourself, right? And we had sex. How is this possibly going to go well? Just think about it.
So
none of this is reality.
A boy can come home and be like, yo, B.
That's what's up.
Whoa.
I think I found the one.
I got a good one, homie. I gotta hold on to this one. Yeah, that's how y'all keep slipping up.
You know what I'm saying?
I understand why that is enjoyable and entertaining and it's exciting and it feels good, especially in the summertime. The sun is up, the top is down, the beach is hot. Let's go. If you're really thinking about long term, though, at some point as you mature as an individual, you got to realize I'm actually setting myself up
for failure.
Yeah, for failure. I'm setting myself up to fall in love with staging.
Yes.
After you get and most will never listen to us until they've been burned a few times.
Yes.
Hopefully not literally burning, but however.
Why do you think that is?
Ego. Why would you listen to me? I don't know what I'm talking about. Who am I? Until you realize that something that I said is resonating with you later, and now I'm gonna go back to her. I can tell even when we have like the comments under the videos, I can tell the people who are just watching the clip for the first time versus the people who've been around. Because the guys you'll have a guy who'll come through and say something very disrespectful or whatever about me. And then I'm like praying for him because I'm like, why would you say, especially if it's a black man, why would you say that about another black woman you don't even know? Like that says something about you. Like I would never, right? Yep. Okay, you did that. But then you'll have another black man that'll come in and be like, hey, homie. And be like, nah, she actually telling the truth. You probably just haven't experienced it yet. And so what I'm loving is the interaction between the men. It's like the OGs and the uncles coming in with the younger crowd. Like, look, I know you have the ability to drop a comment wherever you want. But over here, this is actually something to help you grow. So just because you can't digest it yet, just chew on it for a little while.
That's right.
Just chew on it and see if later on it makes more sense to you. But in the beginning, when we're young, we have hero syndrome. We don't think anything can touch us. We're the exception to everything. We just do whatever. We go on roller coasters. We gamble more. We do a lot.
Right.
Once you've lived life a little bit, you realize you're not quite that.
Your risk tolerance is very low.
You're not that immortal. Like
no doubt.
I can take hits. So I'm going to start to be more cautious and more strategic with how I move and what I do and what I expose myself to. And you may become a little less risk averse.
Yes.
How do you navigate through the ego?
So you mean to tell me that you'll get your hair done, your nails done, and your makeup done, but then you won't do anything to help you?
Girl, that math ain't matching.
No. So when is it going to be the time that we stop working on the outer things and start figuring out the inner things?
Girl, I think the time is now. And so for you, I'd encourage you to strut over, slide over, get on through, getandstaymarried.com. Because what we have for you is not just this great conversation like we're having today.
Yes.
But it's an entire community to help you know and love yourself, but focus on what we put in and what we put on. So all our clients have a personal stylist, a year with a finance coach, a flexibility coach, a sex educator, because a lot of people having sex,
but they not good at it.
Oh, don't let that be you. So go ahead, sis, slide on through, getandstaymarried.com. But for now, back to the show.
You know what I mean? Like, because
that
I
was
can see that
Jacoya said. We did a live with one of our
eligible bachelors,
Jacoya, a while ago, over a year ago. And what he said was, I love what you all do, and I'm connected to it because I'm a little bit further on my journey. But the truth is, I had to go through what I had to go through to learn.
Yeah.
Fair.
So we are here to help prepare individuals to have better relationships, but also, to be honest, to have a better relationship with themselves first. Because the truth is, in order to get to your season, we love to say it's my season, it's my season. You have to go through you season first. You have to go through your own journey, your own challenges, your pitfalls, all of that, and then grow through it.
Yeah.
Right? Some people just go through things and they come out not better for it.
Right.
But when you allow yourself to grow through things, then you can actually understand the lesson that the experience was meant to teach.
And that's how we as people find ourselves in cycles, because the lessons life is meant to teach you, when you don't learn that lesson, when you don't take notes through that and you don't grow through that, you find yourself back at the beginning of that lesson. And it's one of those things that as you become self-aware, you're like, this sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
This feels familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Different name, same person.
Right.
And it's because there is a lesson here that, honestly, I always say God is trying to tell you something. He's trying to learn you something. Okay. And in those instances, it's like, see what I'm trying to show you about you so that you can be better for you. So before you hook up with anybody else, it's not their responsibility to say, hey, I don't know if you noticed, but you kind of keep going around in this hamster wheel.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not their job to get you off. Sometimes other people are there to help you see things that you don't see, but inevitably it's you that will have to do the work in order to get out of the cycle.
Yes.
You know, it's really crazy that there's people that's been a lifetime in a hamster wheel.
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
And you know what? The most successful people commit to a lifetime of learning.
Yeah. Forever learning.
They're forever learning. They're never too smart to learn something else. And the people who stay on the hamster wheel, they aren't willing to learn. They just they feel like they got it together.
Ain't that what I had told you earlier? Yeah. Different conversation, not relationship wise, friendship wise.
Yeah.
I was just like, you had said something to him in a prior podcast about what was it? Do you remember what it was, Mike?
It was along the lines of people not seeing you.
Oh, his confidence. Some people were telling me like he came across a little arrogant.
Too arrogant.
Because you're confident. And then you basically was just like, no, that's their insecurities.
Right.
As long as you're not directing it toward them, it's their personal insecurities, right? And so today we have similar peers. Some closer to him than me and vice versa, right?
Of course.
But we, same group of people. And so I was just like, there's some relationships that we weren't speaking about, but I've had to like just keep going. Nothing is wrong with them as a person.
That's right.
They good people. They not bad people. I don't even think of them.
Absolutely.
But I was just like, if I share something with you, like, I'm speaking to him and this is how it come out, me being me. I can't fuck with somebody doing the same shit that they was doing 5 years ago.
That's stagnant.
It is just, and so I was like, it's not that they bad, but I was like, and he was just like, they staying the same. I was like, no, they're actually losing. And I was like, even think of her hair. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I was like, I've been complacent with the same revenue. But the cost of everything is going up.
Yeah.
So I'm technically less. So I'm actually losing. But I was like, that was me comfortable. So I'm not saying that I'm no different than them, but I'm understanding I got to get out today.
That's right.
And so, in relation to what you're saying, I'm just saying we have those, relationships in business and.
Can I offer this to you? My best friend and I were talking about this, and she said something that I really felt was so profound. She was like, the fact that you kept moving actually helped me because I was like, where'd she go? If I was like, well, I recognize that I'm being complacent, but I don't want to leave my friends, so I'm going to just keep doing the same thing we've been doing, then maybe no one close to her would have made it out, and then she felt like she could do it too. But the fact that I was like, look, this, and this, I love you, we're going to still talk, but I'm not doing these things anymore. Instead, I'm going to start doing this. And if you ever want to do these, you always welcome, right?
If not, crazy, what you're saying? So then I referenced to one of my peers.
Yeah.
He's been doing the same thing for a minute. He hangs around some of these people too, same circle. But I was like, but hey, he even started some other stuff to kind of like propel himself. And so the same way you're saying that about your individual, I didn't ever go to my guy and be like, bro, you kind of like doing the same washed up shit. No, he just is like, this shit ain't working.
Right.
It's working, but it ain't working. So I gotta the conversation that I even had with him, and he's not even, he's a very successful entrepreneur, but I would say that he's not even like, he's a blue collar guy.
Yes.
But he just realized, he just figured out another blue collar duty that fit his personality to take to the next level. So he did, a different bit. But it's like, it's still dope, although it ain't got nothing to do with me or our conversations outside.
Right.
But it's just dope that he's trying to grow in his lane.
That's right.
So so I get that.
Yes.
And it's just kind of like very parallel conversation, business, relationship.
Yes. And we colloquially, we talk about leveling up. We talk about moving forward. We talk about getting more. And we need to be mindful of what it takes to get there, right? I'm sure you've all heard or even read, what got you here won't get you there.
Yeah.
Right? And so understanding what that actually means it sounds like a bar right then, but what does that require in order to work that out and walk that out? And once you commit to making it to over there, then you have to commit to the journey of getting there.
I'm uncomfortable right now.
Right.
Because the strategy may be the same, but the steps in the strategy may change.
And the systems are going to be different. The engine is going to take a different engine to go a little further.
And the risk is going to be great.
And you're changing too. And what you're doing, it may be ballpark like the goal is build generational wealth. But the steps to do that and the strategies that you're going to implement, those things are going to kind of maneuver just a bit because you're going somewhere that you've never been before.
Right.
Like, again, if I want to drive to Florida, I can hop in a car. But if I want to go to Cancun, I got to get on the plane. It's still a method of transportation. It's a different type.
And so it would help us if we would stop trying to convince somebody who doesn't want to get on the plane to come on the plane with us. Instead, we just go get on the plane and then realize that we can talk to the people that's on the plane, that's already willing and already forward thinking and already moving in the direction we want to go. We slow ourselves down when we try to drag people from where they're comfortable and try to take them with us. Because again, I've said before, you exposing people to things before they're ready is no better, right? That doesn't make you any better a person because anything out of season can hurt you. Fruit out of season can kill you. So you have to tell yourself that this is where you're going and the people around you may not be going with you right now. And that's absolutely okay.
What's crazy is I used a different metaphor, same point to a degree. That everybody can't go to the penthouse level. Everybody's at the lobby.
Right.
And I was like, it doesn't make people bad because they're at the lobby or the first floor, second floor. But I was just like, because somebody said, hey, you can't just cut off relationships like that. That's not healthy. And I was like, it's not going to cut them off. I have no opinion. But it's just like, I need to hang around those on that level. And have those similar conversations they already on that level.
Right.
So for you, it's the flight, but for me, it's
the elevator. I like that. I'm not cutting people off. My people are just going to get off on the floor where they're comfortable and I'm going to stay on.
Yeah, there it is. I like that.
But whenever they want to stay on too, the doors will open for you.
Hey, so if you need to go to the penthouse level and you know what I'm saying, you get the point, right? Call them or find them at
getandstaymarried.com
or the marriage makeover on IG.
ASAP. You know what I'm saying? Elevator is closing. Don't stick your hand in there and get caught. You know what I'm saying? Tap in, like, comment, subscribe. Holla at us, man. Let us know how you feel, man. But that was some great stuff, great information. And let's go to the next level. Peace.